This is Robert Stack, and you're listening to the Unbelievers Podcast.
In the 1980s, popular music and rock and roll had devolved into a debaucherous chorus of sex, drugs, and open worship of the Dark Lord Satan. Until in 1989, when a man named Eric Holmberg stood up and said no more by creating the definitive expose of the evils of heavy metal music in his genre-defying documentary, Hell's Bells. Having spread his message about the true nature of popular devil music to millions of clueless Americans, Eric Holmberg faded from the spotlight, content that his awareness campaign had turned the tide against the horde of headbanging heathens, until a new evil arose. Tonight, the Unbelievers Podcast returns to the Satanic Panic as we discuss the epic and long-awaited sequel to Hell's Bells. So join us now as we discover that it's not just heavy metal making us do the devil's dishes. All will be revealed in Hell's Bells 2. Right here on the program, we continue to learn to unlearn everything you know. Hello and welcome to the Unbelievers Podcast. I'm Rus Ryan.
I'm Drea, Mora.
And joining us as always is our soundboard engineer and producer, Rob Okey.
But the war goes on, yeah!
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Wow, Rob is back. Drea's back. I'm back. Man, you pulled that one from the depths. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, maybe not since we played it on the first episode, like years ago. But
the very first episode.
We're pulling it out. We're whipping it out right now.
Yeah.
It's good to be back. It's good to have both y'all here doing this. And man, yeah, we are picking up a thread we needed to, something we left behind a long time ago. And while Drea and Rob were simultaneously and coincidentally in LA, just living it up in Tinsel City, I'm stuck here
Tinsel City.
I'm stuck here in Louisiana.
They do now.
Of course they do. I'm stuck here in Louisiana trying to think about all you sins you're getting into. So I went back and thought about Hell's Bells, that old documentary that we talked about. So I got to sit through another one because it didn't just end with Hell's Bells. By the way, how was LA, guys?
Oh, it was hot.
It was crazy. Yeah, I've never been to California even at all in my life. So it was.
Oh, that's right. That was your first time in California.
That was my first time on that side of the, old United States. And it's different.
Side.
It's very different over there. And LA's fucking huge. I had no idea. I landed and I thought I could take an Uber to where I was staying. And it was like $300.
Yeah,
like,
it's
okay,
stupid
that's
big.
Not going to happen. Yeah, it was a learning experience. I'm not actually, I know I had mentioned probably on previous episodes that I was going to be moving to LA this summer. That's actually not going to be happening. It's probably going to happen later on in the year. I'm in New York again this summer. So
yeah, a little more New York, Rob.
Staying on the East Coast for one more.
For as long as you can. Yeah.
So good.
You'll come around eventually. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't blame you. Yeah, we'll see. I had a feeling that would happen.
I'm glad you guys are back, and I'm glad I'm back from having to watch this because now we get to talk about it. Tonight, let's get into it. It's Hell's Bells 2. Here on Unbelievers Podcast.
Yes.
They said we weren't crazy enough to do it. Rob, they said we could not trick the devil a second time, but we're doing it tonight. We'll be discussing Hell's Bells 2, the sequel to the 1989 Christian documentary Hell's Bells, The Dangers of Rock and Roll, which we covered on this very show.
Wow.
I'm just glad that I'm not going to hell alone. Like, okay, cool. If I can bring some people with me.
Yeah. At least we get to go together, the three of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got up the first time, but let's see if we can get through this one because this sequel here was, of course, produced by Eric Holmberg. Eric Holmberg, he is the star of this. He is the founder of Reel to Reel Ministries. And I'm not sure why Eric Holmberg, the founder of the apologetics group, I don't know why he felt the need in 2004 to make a sequel to that classic heavy metal rock music expose on all the evils of devil music, the Hell's Bells. And in that, he really said a lot. That was a 6-hour-long Christian documentary that toured the country. You think all could have been said in those 6 hours.
Oh my God. Wait, toured the country. So like he went from place to place and he had to then sit through the whole 6 hours every single time?
He screened it in mega churches. It wasn't a live play.
Oh, okay. Dear God. Okay, good. That would have been so much. I'm like, man, this guy, I think, really just likes the music.
6 hours is so long.
It's so much. You can cover
an unholy
everything
number, really.
evil rock could ever do, right? Well, I don't know. Something must have happened, some paradigm shifting moment, whatever it was, in 2004. Eric released the sequel to Hell's Bells, The Dangers of Rock and Roll. In this sequel, the full title is Hell's Bells 2, The Power and Spirit of Popular Music. Which is almost not as threatening.
Yeah, that sounds actually like it's applauding it, like it's celebrating music.
It
and
sounds,
its messages.
It doesn't, I don't hear anything wrong with that. The power and spirit, he said?
Sure, the power and spirit. Maybe he's trying to trick us. Because the first one, it was very scary. And much like the original, Hell's Bells 2 is also 6 hours long. And I'm going to say, this will not all be covered in full tonight because there is a lot to get into with this, starting off with this very long trigger warning.
What follows contains some ugly, disturbing, and what for many people will be offensive material. So let me warn you, if you're a young person who's never seen MTV and thinks that 9 Inch Nails are something that people use to build railroads, you probably shouldn't watch this series, at least not without your parents present. And if you're a Christian who believes there's no way to stop our culture's slide into apostasy, well, you might find more bad than good in this and may want to reconsider watching as well. Keep in mind our primary audience. First and foremost, it's the people here. And in venues like it everywhere, folks caught up in the world of rock and roll, popular entertainment, and the whole do-your-own-thing mindset that has come to dominate much of our culture. For them, this series is a wake-up call, an alarm warning of the fire that is raging just down the hall. To this end, Hell's Bells examines this fire, its nature and fury, how it got lit, and how it spreads. We go into the detail that we do because we live in a time where multiplied millions are fascinated by and even love this fire.
Yeah, the fire.
We love this fire.
You gotta give it to him. That 9 Inch Nails line, great opener.
Oh, him. He's such a card.
I was getting into that crunchy guitar underneath for a second. I just started nodding my head. I was like, damn, I love the early 2000s.
It was some fun shit.
It's my shit.
I don't know. Is that little intro? It's like he's like geared towards like the Rod and Todd segments of the Christian youth that might be in attendance there. Like,
I don't want no damn vegetables.
I got little MTV jokes. I don't know about your 9 Inch Nails, you know.
Yeah. What do you say? Like, do what I want lifestyle, or like do your own thing.
That's the fire.
Do your own thing lifestyle. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Dude?
You can't do your own thing. Okay, hold on. You're in church right now.
That's satanic, doing your own thing. Don't do that.
But he's trying to scare people off, and he's not done scaring people off from watching this. The warning continues.
And finally, we produce this video series to inform, instruct, perhaps convict, and yes, even inspire Christian reformers, people seriously committed to the Great Commission. So if that's you right now, or perhaps what you will be by the end of this series, take courage. Greater is the one that is in you. At the very end, I'll share a brief word of encouragement as to just how significant that really is. So there, you've been warned.
Oh, so ominous.
So there.
This is going to be some hardcore shit, Rob. You heard that warning.
Yeah, it sounds like a South Park character. Like I just can't get over his voice to begin with. I'm kind of entranced by the droneness in this man's voice.
He droned so long for his payoff, he had to take a huge breath. Listen.
So there, you've been warned.
He was tired. He got worn out by his own sermon.
We've been warned, guys.
Yeah, we have been warned. You can go back now. And I mentioned before that there must have been some kind of, heaven-shaking event that would get Eric Holmberg into action after all these years. And I think I know what it is, because immediately after that warning, he plays this speech from Marlyn Manson, the 1997 VMAs, where Marlyn had this to proclaim.
We will no longer be oppressed by the fascism of Christianity. Because I see you all sitting out there trying your hardest to fit in, trying your hardest to earn your way into heaven. But let me ask you, do you want to be in a place that's filled with a bunch of...
I mean, yeah, that might do it if you're Eric Holmberg sitting at home and he's like just straight up slagging you so hard right on MTV.
Who's trying to fit in the hardest? And they're like, ooh, me.
Yeah. Well, and it's also Marlyn Manson probably wearing like, a black corset and like fishnet. Like
he was like evil Hitler in this. No, he looked like he was giving a speech like he was like an evil Hitler guy, suit, alien or something.
Yeah, he did look pretty satanic and pretty evil back in the day. And I remember I did have friends who had Christian parents, and the main reason why we weren't allowed to watch MTV at their house was because of Marlyn Manson. Because
it made sense. Hell's Bells almost worked because after that, people stopped caring about devil music anyway, and it all became like alternative and hip hop and stuff like that. No one was listening to devil heavy metal anymore. But Marlyn Manson comes around 97, and Eric Holmberg sits up like, I thought I squashed this already. I think it's time to get into it. So he doesn't just blame it on Marlyn. There are a lot of musicians throughout history that are doing the devil's dishes, like these popular artists, whose recordings, guys, you might actually be in possession of. Or are they possessing you? Let's hear.
AC has gotten rich singing about hell, the devil, and all the dirty deeds commonly associated with the dark side of human nature. Obviously, they're far from alone. From the crossroads of Robert Johnson to the upside-down cross of Ozzy Osbourne.
Found my thrill.
From the sexual euphemisms of Fats Domino
Blueberry Hill
to the jackbooted perversities of Korn.
I don't know your name, so what? Let's...
The popular form of music we loosely call rock and roll has always been about defying taboos, embracing Dionysian riot. In the words of the Doors' Jim Morrison, breaking on through to the other side.
Korn is breaking on to the other side.
Korn
the devil
and
side.
Doors.
The devil side, I'm assuming. Here.
Fats Domino?
Fats
Really?
Domino. So
Fats
sexual.
Domino. Come on. Blueberry Hill? That's like the most innocent song.
Thrills. There's thrills going on there, Rob.
Rob, what do you think about the song Tutti Frutti?
Whoa. It's a family show.
I'm pretty sure it's fine. I think it's okay.
See, you sang over. Hold on. Now I want to go back. They were talking about Korn break through the other side. And
Yeah,
they
I got
censored.
excited.
I know you did. They censored that Korn tune. You tried to sing over it.
Yeah.
And look, play Samboy 2 because I know they censored that Korn tune in here. They warned us this would happen. So I looked to technology to help me reassemble that song to its original Korn glory. Here's my fixed version of the censored Korn track.
Korn.
I don't know your name, so what? Let's...
Give it up for Korn.
Amazing.
Is that what the lyrics were?
Yeah.
I don't know your
I don't know your funnel cake.
All
If
right,
you had the
I
censored
gotta
version.
look those up. I don't remember it being like that.
We only had
You don't
censored
remember your funnel
versions,
cake.
so I just had to make up what the bad words were. But getting back to Eric Holmberg, a lot of what he talks about in this is intended to correct the record. He's there's been a lot of critics of Hell's Bells, and frankly, he's really sick of it. And one of the biggest criticisms he hears is when people use Bible passages against him. He hates that, especially the line, "Judge not, lest ye be judged," because the people just throw that in his face all the time. That is the go-to line that you can always, people thought they could just shut down Hell's Bells. Like, hey, I'm quoting the Bible to you. Don't be judging me.
He's not wrong.
Yes, you be judged. It's kind of like, it's like I know you are, but what am I? Sort of like.
That is exactly what that
it's,
is.
It's kind of like
the spiritual I'm rubber, you're glue.
Yeah.
Well, he's figured it out. Here he is throwing it back in their face, rubber glue style.
When Jesus said, "Judge not," the context was judging hypocritically and without concern for the other person's soul. Outside this sinful context, judging is not only right, it's commanded. Do not judge according to appearance, Jesus said, but judge with righteous judgment. What's the proper standard to use in order to judge righteously? Is MTV right when it says that being butch and gay is good, but intolerance is bad? Is Moby judging righteously when he states that animals have the same rights as humans? How about Rage Against the Machine's condemnation of capitalism?
Yeah.
What standard is Beavis using when he declares that a band, well, you know?
This sucks. Change it. This sucks.
How about Bjork's conviction that you should do whatever you want, even if it's morally incorrect? A statement, by the way, which requires making a judgment between what's moral and what's not. And what of our earlier caller's assessment of my intelligence and character?
Just like you stupid mother.
So, wow. Moby, Bjork, Beavis, some guy who called him once. They're very judgy people.
Yeah, I didn't really think of Bjork as a judgy person because she is, whimsical.
Weird.
Beavis is pretty judgy,
weird.
though. I'll give it to Beavis, though. He's a pretty judgy guy.
I don't know why he was even in this lineup of artists and musicians. I feel like you can't just throw a random fictional.
What are you talking about? Beavis is
cartoon
culturally
character in there.
Beavis is definitely culturally as important as Moby or Bjork or that guy.
I don't even understand what any of these
Moby.
people have in common because they're all like so completely
That's why
different.
Hell's Bells 2 is great.
This is so ridiculous. Like Moby, they're coming at him for what? For protecting
Animals have
animals?
this- No,
Like,
they're saying they have the same rights as
being an
humans, and that's
artist.
very true.
Oh.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, I remember he's a vegan. He's very like strict into
Animals
like
should
animal
get to
protection. But like I don't know like why they're so angry about that. Like why is that gets him on the list of people who are going to hell?
Anybody who's not
because
just
he's judging him.
outwardly advocating the church, I guess, is going to hell. Like, talk about judgy.
And what are they like the way that opened up was so like is MTV thinks it's cool to be butch and gay? Like what are you talking about? MTV never said maybe like I don't know. I
was like, you might like anyone can think what they want. It's fine.
I really feel like this is their interpretation and they may be projecting possibly.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
you think?
Yeah.
I think that's the majority of, preachers and stuff in general. It's like the ones who, speak the loudest and bark the loudest have the least amount to, I don't know how that goes. It's like, small dogs that bark a bunch. It's like, okay, but you can't actually back yourself up. They probably have the biggest
bitches. Yeah, exactly. I get what
Yeah,
you're
they got
saying.
the most shit in their closet.
Yeah.
Eric gets some hits though. I mean, hey, think about it. Moby got in trouble for that Natalie Portman stuff. So maybe he was right about Moby. Yeah.
I mean,
Don't even remember. Don't even want to remember. Don't know what happened. Don't really
I
care.
won't get into it. I just didn't think that was brought to light even back then.
No, it
I don't
wasn't.
think the
I'm
Natalie
just saying
Portman thing was not.
he's calling his shots here. This was made in 2004.
Definitely.
I remember. I do know that he's like a terrible person, but I just didn't remember why. Now that
of
probably
reasons.
has something to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Whatever
one of
that
those things where you
controversy
just wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, anyway, this was just a setup. That was the closing of part one. It was basically a 20-minute intro. This thing hasn't even started yet. If this thing almost feels like it keeps starting, like you watch this long thing, it's like, all right, now we're really moving on. But this is only the first time. Now we're on to part two, Sound and Fury. And this is examining the power of music. And this starts off with one of my favorite bits from the originals Hell's Bells. They have a fake news program called Wolf 9 Nose on the News with roving reporter Alex McNamara. And what do you have for us tonight, Alex?
In tonight's Nose on the News special report, we'll be examining the controversial question, can the music we listen to affect our lifestyles and beliefs? Would you be willing to tell us who your favorite bands are?
Nirvana, Jesus Mary Chain, Thrill Kill Cult, Sonic Youth, Jesus Lizard.
Robert Smith is God. Smashing Pumpkins.
Do you think these songs have in any way affected your values or the way you live your life?
It's just music, man. We just listen to the music, that's all.
So these are the alternative kids. They're holding the line in the early 2000s.
So believable.
These
I can't
guys.
tell if they could be real because the 90s,
You think?
Like, I don't know, the
All right,
early
man,
2000s,
do you like to
late
listen
90s.
to the music?
People
or-
talk like they're on Nickelodeon like all the time. It's weird.
So I think the
don't
whole
even
point of this.
think Nickelodeon kids talked like that.
No, he was just picking a group of 90s kids in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But he goes
It's-
through other groups. And I think the irony here, though, is supposed to be that, yeah, of course, what you're into does shape you. And like, they're all dressed like super cool for 94. But this is like this is a straw man argument because he wrote these answers for these cool kids. These aren't real interviews. You can tell he's got one guy completely dressed like Robert Smith because
Robert Smith is God. Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins.
I'm so glad you got that clip.
I could
Robert
not
Smith
get
is
pumpkins. I'm sorry.
God.
That's their new favorite thing. So it's a double soundboard clip you get.
Robert Smith is God. Smashing Pumpkins.
Pumpkins.
Smashing
Smashing
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins, guys. Remember
Pumpkins.
Robert
Pumpkins?
Smith is God. Smashing
Pumpkins
Pumpkins.
in West
I miss
Virginia
the
for sale.
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins for sale. Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
throwback,
yeah.
guys. And it's
We'll
a natural
definitely-
one. Just kind
We'll
of
get some
happened.
pumpkins, but we're not gonna be loud about it next time because we got some dirty looks because we liked the pumpkins so
You know, I
much.
completely forgot about that. I'm being embarrassed for you at Piggly Wiggly now, but yes. But what he's talking about here, not.
Robert Smith is God. Smashing Pumpkins.
I think what he's trying to get to is that it's ironic that these kids, they don't think the music affects them. It's like, well, yeah, it does, but you kind of did tell them what to say and you dressed them like this. But so we heard
If Robert Smith was God, though, what do you think Earth would be like?
Needs
Well,
to
I
be
mean-
exactly the same because he loves to be miserable and it would be perfect for him right now.
There'd be a lot more ice cream, I think.
Yeah, I think everybody would be forced to just wear a lot of eyeshadow. Like it would just be like part of like modern culture. You know,
Yeah,
just
would you
like-
rather live in Robert Smith's world where Robert Smith is God or the Airheads universe where Lemmy is God?
That's a universe too. See, the thing is, he's going to address all these universes. This is the Robert Smith little verse
Okay.
where these kids, they don't think they're
This
being
is the
effective,
goth
they are.
corner.
I mean, The
This
Cure
is-
is good though. I do like The Cure. I appreciate a good Cure song. You know,
I
Of course.
appreciate a good
Robert
Cure.
Smith is God.
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins.
But Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing
Oh,
Pumpkins
okay.
though. That Billy
Pumpkins.
Corgan.
Yeah,
So we
I mean,
heard from
damn.
this group of white kids that we heard about their favorite artist, but what about 3 different groups of white kids?
Would you mind telling our viewers what bands you like to listen to?
Hot Drea, Snoop Dogg,
One at a time, guys.
Regulator Boy.
Do you think this music or these bands have in any way influenced your lifestyles or beliefs?
No, man. All you like is a music, man. That's all. That's all.
Hey, who are you guys listening to?
The
Do you
hot
think
chicks.
this music has impacted you in any way, shape, or form?
Like, get a grip. We just like the music. That's all.
Hey guys, can you tell us what bands you like to listen to?
Led Zeppelin. Dio. Ozzy. Sabbath.
Do you think this music has affected you in any way?
What?
Do you think that listening to these bands has in any way influenced your lifestyles or beliefs?
No, man. We just like the music. That's all.
Okay, so this is all the other groups of kids that are being affected. You got the hip hop guys who cannot stop talking over each other. All the white hip hop guys have beginning,
Oh,
like the
those are hip-hop
Regulators.
guys?
I heard.
Yeah, they're like, one dude's like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, because that's the energy that
Yeah,
comes from
it was.
that camp.
That was weird. That was
That
really
was
weird.
really weird.
So that's what hip hop kids do. Then you got Aerosmith fans, which are just hot chicks in Jeeps that drive around
I heard
screaming.
her pop bubble gum. Did she pop? I felt like she popped bubble gum in the middle of her sentence. I could have swore I heard it.
I don't know. I didn't see that. At the
I
end,
believe
you
it's
got,
there.
at the end, he just busts into some kid's room and you see these old school metal guys. And they're just in their bedroom jamming. This guy comes in and man, I got to say something about the set. They had some really outdated posters in his metal kid's room. They had a Dangerous Toys poster in his metal band. This is 2004. Like, come on. This is the leftover props from the first Hell's Bells that are being recycled here.
Hey, you got to get your money's worth.
They're connecting the dots. It's connective tissue. You know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you're right. Holmberg is the
horrible
Kubrick
organism.
of religious, satanic
Yeah.
panic, heavy metal documentaries.
The Kevin Feige of Christian documentaries. Exactly.
So these kids are the same. No one seems to think that music influences them in any way, but Eric Holmberg is about to let them know how stupid they are.
You know, no one wants to feel like they're being influenced, and certainly not owned or controlled by anything that's outside their own rational decision-making minds. Yeah, maybe some of those idiots who hang out in front of Game World at the mall are being led around by their nose rings, but we'd like to think, not me. The simple, inescapable truth, however, is that you and I do become, to some degree, what we listen to and watch. In the same way that human biology dictates that if you live on a steady diet of junk food, you will eventually damage your body. The entertainments you feed upon, for good or ill, will affect your emotional and spiritual well-being.
I mean, no shit, but it can affect you in a good way and not be to your approval.
Makes fucking life worth, not worth living. It makes it bearable, you know? Like having that.
It's not as definite as what he's saying, though, because there's people that just love horror movies and they just watch horror films all the time. That doesn't really affect their life. They can go on.
You talking about murderers, serial killers, hitmen or something?
I mean, I definitely used to feel like I would wonder, like, why do people like to watch something that's like full of horrible, awful stuff? Like I guess your life must be devoid of horrible, awful things, and you feel like you need some. But no, for some people, it really is just it's a particular if it makes them happy and they're not hurting anybody. As long as they're not hurting anybody.
All right, slow down, Aleister Crowley. I do think he was proud of that.
Me with that asshole.
Hey, did you catch that? That's that nose ring line, Drea. That was pretty clever,
leading
right?
them around. They're not led by their
nose rings.
In front of Game World at the mall. I'm like, yep, picture myself there.
Game World. I love he's really painting a picture there.
Yeah, very freaking 90s mall, which I miss.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he must have missed him enough too. The 2004 again, but I guess people were kind of hanging out in the mall then. Who knows? But evidently, people getting led around by their nose rings, and a lot like the first one though. This one, I think, this introduced more bands to kids that were forced to watch this than they might have already known about.
They're all taking notes. Yeah.
They were playing stuff in this. I took note of. We might play it later. Was an artist named Kevin Aviance, and he had it was like a dance song, but it's called "The Rhythm Is My Bitch." I was like, never heard of this in my life, but
that is an awesome name for a song,
isn't it?
The Rhythm Is My Bitch. Come on.
That was one of the transition songs he used. And he starts getting really deep into the broken window theory. You know what that is? And that it's the theory that if a window is broken in an area, then people become more okay with like graffiti and crime escalates and the appearances help in crime statistics and stuff like that. But he thinks this broken window theory can also be applied to music. And he even brought examples for the class.
A striking example of this broken window effect as it relates to music can be seen in this small park in Edmonton, Alberta. Several years ago, drug dealers began doing business here, and as a result, the crime rate in general began to increase. In an effort to restore a sense of order and preserve their community, local merchants paid for a sound system and began to broadcast the symphonies of Bach, Beethoven, and Mozart throughout the park. Neil DeBoard, the local chief of police, reported that the results were immediate and dramatic, with the number of crimes falling by approximately 800%. While there's no way to fully quantify all the factors that led to this decline, the gut consensus was that the beauty, intelligence, grandeur, and order projected by the classical music was so antithetical to the discord and degeneracy associated with the drug trade that many of the dealers just stayed away.
Yeah, this park sucks now. Let's go 2 blocks over, eh? They were Canadian.
Of course. I mean, I think having live music in any place livens it up. It doesn't even really matter what kind it is.
Yeah, I feel like I would love to make a drug deal with that music going on in the background.
You feel like you're on episode of Sopranos or something, right?
Yeah, you have like a score behind you. Like that's I feel like they would prefer that.
It's motivational.
In most cases.
I think we could increase the productivity of a lot of drug pushers if we just have like really nice music, because I think it makes people want to buy drugs.
Yeah.
This is proving, though, that the music has the power the other way. So he's got to show the good side of it, that it's cleaning up parks.
That is a good thing, I thought. Economy.
I don't know, Rob. Hold on. If you thought that was a leap, there is a bigger leap about to happen, because we know now that beautiful classical music is going to stop the riffraff, all the fooling around in the park. But what happens when you flip this?
A more recent example of the flip side to this principle can be seen in the rioting, theft, arson, and rape that took place at Woodstock 1999. During the Limp Bizkit set, where the majority of the sexual assaults were reported, vocalist Fred Durst introduced a new song.
How many people here ever woke up one morning and just decided it was one of those days and you're gonna break some Well, this is one of them days, yo!
And then sang,
It's going this way, I just might break your face tonight! Give me some
Again, I don't remember those lyrics being.
You don't remember Fred Durst singing about funnel cake at Woodstock? Just like that Marlyn Manson speech, I think Woodstock 99, that was another catalyst in bringing Eric Holmberg out of the woodwork. It definitely plays in his favor, right? Everything he warned us is coming true through the evil of Fred Durst on that stage.
Sure. I will say, damn, I wish Jack was here to chime in on it because he was there. He was actually at that Woodstock 99, and he has a lot to say and a lot to share about it. He was, it was more than that. There was definitely, the location of it was just on a bunch of tarmac, right? It was like,
all right,
this
we'll talk
old,
about how Jack got possessed there on a Patreon episode or something.
He
That'd
was
be great.
touched by Satan, possibly.
Yeah, very, very forcibly. But it was super hot and everything. People were cranky, and then the water they were selling for like $6 a pop, which, as you know, in the economy back then is like trying to sell it to us for like $12 now. You know?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of things leading up to it. Definitely. I mean, you can't really say anything about the sexual assault that'll happen.
All of them,
And I don't think
too. A lot of the poop
lot of
as well.
places.
Like the poop.
Oh, yeah.
The poop
Poop
field.
fest.
They thought it was mud,
Poop
but it was mostly human feces that they were all covered in and walking.
You're saying there was a lot of factors? It wasn't just Fred Durst that started all this?
It might not have been just Fred Durst. In fact, and
Actually,
I hate to say it
they have
because I
someone-
love Dave Grohl, but it was like even the Foo Fighters had a little bit to do with inciting. But they couldn't have known.
They
They're
skated
coming
free.
from a stage. They couldn't have known what was going on.
They skated free of Hell's Bells too, though. They did not show up on this, but they didn't just
good.
blame Fred Durst. RHCP is about to get hit too.
Oh, right. That's
Well, I mean,
that's
they
true.
kind of ask for it a little bit because they do the dick sock thing, you know.
Clip
like-
11. Listen.
This chaos reached its crescendo the next night during the Red Hot Chili Peppers performance. While bass player Flea pranced about naked, and lead singer Anthony Kiedis urged women in the audience to do something so disturbing we can't even mention it here. An organization calling itself PAX, Latin for peace, distributed candles.
So here, why don't you just take one as a souvenir for coming by?
It was no small irony when these so-called peace candles were used to set fires that ultimately burned down a stage, 12 trailers, and brought 500 riot police onto the scene.
Oh, cool, let me slip it in your fire!
Oh, he said it. There it is. Anthony Kiedis and peace candles, and they burned it down.
Yeah. I feel like I'm remiss saying anything here without Jack being here, since he was literally there and watched all this happen.
Yeah,
like it was craziness.
It's crazy. This is taking me right back to like I had the double CD. You know, it was like when you would get 2 CDs in one case.
I thought you said the devil CD. Yeah,
well, it is
devil.
also the devil CD. I mean, clearly
It's
it's
definitely a double devil CD.
It was
if
twice
wasn't
the
that.
devil music,
but it was a double CD. You know, like double record. And man, this is just taking me right back. I feel like I'm in like 8th grade again right now. This is crazy.
Yeah, as you should be.
Yeah,
partying it up in 8th grade.
But that's his whole theory, though. That was the highlight of part 2 is when he got to Woodstock 99, because he goes all in on this broken window / broken music theory where good music will scare everyone away and this kind of music will just get to people
he's
burning
not
down
wrong in that
everything
case.
and run around and poop. You get the idea. So now it's on to part 3, and this is a big one. Heartbeats, music, spiritual connection. And this is when Hell's Bells starts to change. You know, the original Hell's Bells and the beginning of the sequel, they give like a really surface level approach to the hidden evils of rocking music. But it starts to evolve into this deep dive into the history of the origins of musical traditions. Like it goes all the way back. It mentions that the word music itself is derived from the Greek idea of muses as a spiritual inspiration for all elements of artistic creation. Of course, it gets very involved, and it's pretty actually a well done little piece on the history of music in general. But a lot of the focus of the idea of music as this religious vehicle. It's this music is the channel to unlock the spiritual energy inside all of us. And one of my favorite parts of this is when they discuss the spiritual inspiration that is channeled through the very evil musician, TORI AMOS, who was inspired by something you might not expect.
TORI AMOS music is channeled more deliberately, making use at times of fairy rings, sympathetic magic, sacred geography, and psychoactive drugs. When people were asking me about the whole fairy thing, she told one interviewer, it was because I believe in the spirit side. I think music comes through dimensions. It's arrogant to think you can create music on your own. There's a co-creation going on. I don't know with whom, but there is this well that we all tap into. On other occasions, she has described the songs themselves as spiritual entities. I feel like it's really kind of nice they come and use my body to say what they want to say. It's an energy force that comes and visits me.
Yeah, the Fae. The Fae are using up poor Tori Amos. She's channeling fairies. You guys know this?
Cool.
That's cool.
She's happy with it. She's got a good deal going on with them. I'm happy for her, I guess.
Her songs are alive. They're actual living beings.
They're entities. Basically, she's saying they're ghosts.
I mean, what's he so worried about Tori Amos? This is Hell's Bells too, and he's like going in on everyone.
She's definitely, look, I don't agree like at all with that. I mean, I like the idea of tapping into like creativity as a well, but I don't think that it's like, oh, it's arrogant to think that you can come up with a song on your own. Like I could come up with a song on my own. Look at the song Hot Cross Buns. Do you think that was like a divine interaction? Honestly.
I mean, it may have
definitely
been.
channeled. It was probably maybe like, not a fairy, but maybe like, I don't know.
Somebody hungry.
At this point, it has become one because everybody knows how to play that fucking thing.
Hot cross buns. They're so delicious. Yeah.
Well, that guy's definitely one. But he gives lots of examples of musicians that openly admit that they are channeling something from beyond in their recordings. You know, Angus Young of AC/DC, Carlos Santana, and Supernatural, his album. He admits it.
He named it after Supernatural.
It's a good album.
And yeah, Carlos Santana, he confesses that his music is channeled through him by a being named Metatron. And that is the architect of physical light. His thing is Metatron.
Cool.
I can see that. That makes more sense than Tori Amos thinking, you know, that, oh, this is the songs that fairies want me to make. But when you listen to Santana, you can really believe he's channeling some shit. Like, okay, I'll give him that.
Either way, I mean, I'll take either one. Channel some fairies, channel Metatron, which sounds like just
the voice of God.
It sounds like a transformer, obviously. I don't like. I'm interested. I want to know more about these channelers.
Well, lots of people do. He claims that Porno for Pyros does it. The Grateful Dead.
Jane's Addiction.
No, Jane's Addiction. Nope, not at all.
They're not. They're one of the few that are not.
I thought Porno from Pyros was
Jane's
side
Addiction. Band. Yeah, Pharrell is in there. Yeah, but somehow they get thrown into the channeling thing. But also, the greatest of all the worst bands ever, Grateful Dead. They claim to channel the Ferryman of Death. You know that skeleton guy on the boat?
Oh, yeah, Ozzy. Oh.
When he moves so slow, so it makes so much sense for their music that they're channeling.
What's his name?
Ferryman.
The Ferryman of Death? I didn't know that. Okay.
It's kind of a badass name.
That's pretty cool, honestly. And what is he like? What are they channeling there? Just a skeleton? They're channeling like a
channeling that
gangly skeleton man. Like what does he
guitars
do?
And stuff. That's all they're saying. That he's their inspiration.
Okay,
that skeleton man.
And when you first said ferryman, though, I thought of like fairies, like a ferryman with wings.
No,
I get it now.
The actual ferryman of
farrier.
Death.
Yeah.
That would be actually cooler. But this is the Grateful Dead. Why would they do that? And all these really famous musicians, they're claiming to channel different entities. But Eric, he's not buying that. I don't know why you guys all think this is innocent. So what's really going on here, man?
What spirits are being channeled? And what God does the Electric Sky Church celebrate? To help answer these questions and to more fully understand the mystical relationship that exists between man and music, we must first understand some basic biblical truths concerning the fundamental nature of reality. Again, you may choose not to believe these principles, but at least try to understand them.
Oh, I thought he was going to say, or if you're stupid, just listen. And I don't know why he opens with, what's the Electric Sky Church?
That sounds awesome.
He's trying to introduce people to bands they've never heard of. I looked up, it's an acid trance band.
Cool. I was going to say, it kind of reminded me of ELO kind of thing, electric, but then I think of Mr. Blue Sky, and I'm into it.
You know who I think the Electric Sky Church worships?
Robert Smith is God. Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins.
As long as it's the night sky.
Should we insert a little sample of that band right here, just so people can hear?
If you want to go produce that show, that'd be great.
We might as well, because I'm curious. So
I'll do a little dance break during
it. You're curious?
Dance music.
I thought you were going to put in The Cure. So I thought that was funny that you're curious.
No, but Robert Smith is God. That was really good, Drea. Well done.
But you heard the man. You heard Eric. There are 5 biblical truths, and you might not believe them, but Eric does. So I'm going to go through the first 4 real quick. Number 1, the material universe is not all that exists. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
2, man is a spiritual as well as physical being. Sure. Okay, we're on board. 3, the primary purpose of our existence is to know, enjoy, and glorify the one who created and redeemed us. All right, get a little more specific.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm into the enjoying. And that's
he says we are made to worship, and that we are here to enjoy and glorify through good music and stuff.
Why create something just like you're made to worship me? I created you to worship me.
You got to worry about Eric will explain it later.
Good.
So back to this is truth number 4. Through sin, man fell and was separated from God. And, from his point of view, yes, this is when it gets very, very specific where we're going with this. And fundamental truth 5, you can hear it now from Eric himself.
Number 5, the kingdom of darkness is real and is the primary source of all opposition to God. The lord of this diabolical kingdom is the prince of the air, more commonly known as Satan or the devil. With a horde of wicked spirits at his command, he is called the god of this age, the world that is at war with the true God. Though cast down and defeated by Christ through the cross, he has power wherever people grant it to him through their obedience to his satanic law. Wherever he's granted power, his task is essentially twofold. First, to stimulate the variety of lusts resident within the human heart, thereby degrading people as well as bringing them into greater bondage and control. For by what a man is overcome, by this also is he brought into bondage.
Yeah, now we're talking. Beelzebub's going to go all bondage on that ass, Rob. according to Eric here.
I mean, some people are into bondage. I don't know. That's not really my thing particularly, but
we're not here to kink shame.
Yeah, it's not. There's nothing wrong with that.
I can name a few that are into it. They are Metatron, fairies, the Grateful Dead fairy skeleton. It's all Satan. The only music that I saw him stick up for in this whole thing so far was Van Morrison. I'm not joking. For some reason, Van Morrison got a pass. He even played a little bit of a song. It was like, that was nice. I mean, let's move on.
I do love Van Morrison.
Van Morrison is very good.
Happy for that, I guess.
It's a good
But then
one
they had to
pass.
cut. Yeah, then they had that Stone Temple Pilots at the end, and I just want to keep listening to that. Can I have just can I just have one more moon dance with Stone Temple Pilots? I want a Van Morrison STP playlist.
You can dance your way to hell with the Stone Temple Pilots. Drea.
That's where he's going with this, because this is all Satan. But why focus on rock though? He says, let's hear a brief history of the evil evolution of rock and roll.
Of course, any style of music can be perverted by evil. Many of the elements this presentation examines are found in other musical forms as well. The reason for our focus on rock is both its unparalleled popularity and the manner in which it has given place to evil. Subtly at first, then with increasing blatancy. As rock's celebrants have been brought under its rhythmic sway, it has become one of the most potent weapons in Satan's arsenal of deception.
So that's the transition. That's the chronology of evil. It goes Elvis, Stones, Warrant, for some reason, Cherry Pie come out. I did not edit that part. And then George Michael, and then somehow he sticks 9 Inch Nails in. I think he stuck them in the wrong place. But Pink Lady, Marmalade, and then we're back to 9 Inch Nails. And that's how a lot of bands think about that. I didn't realize that.
I want a funnel cake so bad.
Oh God, I just can't believe I can't believe this. This is just, it's getting more and more ridiculous as it goes on, because some of those songs I understand. Cherry Pie, I feel like
I can understand that being, it's a very sexual song.
Bit suggestive.
Well, if he's going after Fats Domino, he's definitely going to go after.
Yeah, that one is
after Warren.
easily going to get taken down real quick. But I don't know. Like, obviously, I want to fuck you like an animal.
Yeah, like I don't know about that 9 Inch Nails. I can't really see. I think it might be bad for kids to listen to.
I get it. I get what they're saying. I don't know. Like, these songs might inspire lust. I do. Like, I might agree with them on that. But besides these songs, there's a lot of like good rock songs that are just about like chilling out, like vibing and just listening.
And they happen to be sexy.
Yeah. You know?
But okay, so question to you both, I guess. Aren't there any songs that don't have any words whatsoever that can still kind of inspire lust? Like just the sound.
Yeah, Brown Eyed Girl.
That has
lyrics.
But yeah, it does have words. But I'm talking about, instrumental music where it's just the instrument, but it still sounds
you can listen
sexy.
to surf music and stuff. That should be safe, right? You listen to adventures and stuff. That wouldn't be so bad.
Surfing is definitely inspired by the devil. I don't know how.
Because you're not supposed to walk on water. Only Jesus can do that.
They would somehow.
They're mocking Jesus by surfing.
They're mocking
They would
Jesus
say
by
that
surfing
is just it's
demonic.
Demonic. It's
gnarly.
They'll have some sort of reason why.
It's like levitating.
Yeah, it's something lust related. It's just not good, and Jesus doesn't like it, so it's bad. They decided.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
honestly, surf music, Beach Boys, straight to hell.
Oh, the Beach Boys are definitely
boys.
They have a special place in hell.
I think maybe he might like early Beach Boys. But that's it for section 3. Now it's time for some real shit. Section 4, notes from the underground, rock's occult history. And this starts off with another great acted out play of a group of college professors that look like big time weirdos discussing how to get psychedelic drugs into the hands of kids. It's supposed to be like college professors in the 60s. No, seriously. And it's acted out. Let's hear.
If we are going to break set and blow through the check valve of 2,000 years of Christian brainwashing, we need to pay more attention to guides and talismans developed by ancient pre-Christian religions. For example, this symbol was used by shamans going all the way back to the Aztecs and beyond. It's particularly incredible when you consider how closely it resembles the
DNA helix, which provides powerful support for McKenna's theories about tertiary alkaloids like psilocybin, or if you like, magic mushrooms, providing the spark that fueled the sudden evolution of human consciousness. Now, your reading assignment for the rest of the semester is generally considered to be the definitive work on the whole topic of using hallucinogens to reprogram the biocomputer that is.
Hey Jeremy, man, is this the book you've been talking about, bro, or what? That book rocks. Dude, that will blow your mind. About my second time through it, I got this idea for a new song, kind of like a journey to the center of your mind type of trip. And I was thinking we could take some quotes from Leary's translation of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Here's what I got so far.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, this book that this fake band is passing around with such reverence is Flesh of the Gods by Peter First. It's kind of the definitive work on reprogramming yourself with hallucinogens. And man, that guy at the
I can
end,
get behind that.
Those guys you heard playing, they made a fictional band for this called the Undertones, and they even have a fake music video where they've taken these psilocybins that the college professors are all just trying to brainwash, to rewire brains. This is Eric is all over this.
Yeah, didn't they have a band in the first one too? A fictional band that was playing this guy's like deathbed in the hospital.
They did.
Like
I think Eric played some of the songs in it too.
Yeah.
Yes, they did do that. Yes, because he does play guitar. He wasn't showing off much in this so far.
See,
I don't believe you.
Today, though, now they're starting to learn that psilocybin mushrooms can actually help people who have, mental illnesses.
Oh, absolutely.
Various,
it's huge.
medical treatments can be done with psilocybin mushrooms.
I think it was made by angels.
I wonder what they would have to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
These guys.
Oh, I think
they didn't know that in 2004. At the time, he's still looking back at the 60s going, aha, this is how they did it. All right, Elvis, you were pushing it then, but then you started handing out drugs at colleges. Things started getting super weird. Everyone was getting freaked out. And especially this band, the Undertones, they not only played the fake music video from the fake band who were inspired. You heard them. That does sound like the college band that are like, we'll like take quotes from the book of the Flesh of the Gods.
The Book of the Dead from the Tibet. Like, Totally.
Yes,
This
dude.
totally sounds like something that.
Read up.
Yeah, I would do.
Well, this fake band has fake fans. So let's hear the reactions from the fake fans of the Undertones.
I love the Undertones. They are so good. Brandon is so hot. Oh my gosh, he's so good. I love their new song, Tomorrow Never Knows.
They're God. They're God. They changed my whole life, man. Whoa! Whoa! Yeah!
Whoa. So drugs and Satan have now give us Undertones, and Brandon, you got a hottie in the
Good.
band.
I'm into it. I love the Undertones.
And they're just like
Ooh.
a Beatles cover band. It
Is
sounds
that-
like from the sound of their music, just sounds like they're doing.
I guess it kind of did sound like that. I was trying to put my finger on what it reminded me of.
Yeah,
but
it's that turn off your mind, relax, and float downstream.
Yeah, little subtle undertones of drug use. I don't know why they're called that. I guess it's supposed to be very much on the nose.
Yeah, it's a very 90s thing too. To if they were to put like a trip hop beat or just any kind of what's it called, like any kind of electronic drum beat underneath that Beatles song would be a very 90s thing to do. And they did it.
Yeah,
and I guess it's supposed
like
to take place now because I guess this isn't supposed to be the 60s because people in the 60s weren't going, yeah, we love these guys. Woo! Ah! That's like people freaking out.
But I'm sure they're just like, yeah, the Beatles were evil too. So like, yeah, that works. So let's use that song.
They're showing you the
Definitely.
line. It goes drugs in college, Tibetan Book of the Dead
Gives you
lyrics,
knowledge.
and you're there. Unfortunately, that was just a brief parable. I wanted more on those undertones, but what can you do? That's all you get. But this
Damn.
bit was a springboard to a very detailed history of the occult, shamanism, the rise of psychedelic drugs. Eric went all in, and how all that played part in popular music becoming the property of the devil. And one of the key players in that development was Harvard psychologist, Mr. Tune-In, Turn-On, Dropout, Timothy Leary, who worked close with author and fellow psychedelic enthusiast Aldous Huxley, and together they had many conversations that Eric Holmberg is not too thrilled by.
In what may be one of the most telling private conversations in modern history, Leary recalled the first time he took psilocybin with Aldous Huxley. Huxley's eyes were closed, he said. Suddenly, he clapped his hands. Your role is quite simple, Huxley told Leary. Become a cheerleader for evolution. That's what I did and my grandfather before me. These brain drugs will bring about vast changes in society. We must spread the word. Huxley then continued with a chilling addendum. The obstacle to this evolution, Timothy, is the Bible. Leary, like Huxley, spent his life as a cheerleader for evolution, tearing down the foundations of Christendom and erecting in its place a syncretistic blend of Eastern religion, shamanism, and a do-it-yourself, drug-fueled enlightenment. And a primary tool for advancing this New Age gospel? You got it, rock and roll.
Aha! They've got their man. They figured it out. It was Timothy Leary and Aldous Huxley really started this. Man, imagine if Holmberg had a time machine. He could figure out the one spot. I think that's what he's trying to do.
You'd think that he'd be able to go into the future and see how much worse things get.
This whole documentary just cracks me up how they use this music that they're like damning so hard that it's the background music to this whole like it sets the tone and the vibe of every single scene, every single monologue they do. They have a great song to put underneath it and bed underneath it. And it sounds so cinematically like the transitions are great. And yet it's the thing that they hate so much. It's just, it kind of cracks me up that
right?
in a way they're
bit of
using
appreciation.
it.
A little ironic.
Yeah, it is so ironic that it somehow is the score to this documentary.
Right. It's what's keeping my interest.
Yeah.
Definitely. If I was to be watching this, I'd keep it on just because the
it's
good music
great.
keeps coming.
Yeah. And you get to see little clips of videos and stuff too, which is nice. That is definitely a saving grace. But he's got his guy, Timothy Leary. And Timothy Leary, he was successful at being the cheerleader of LSD. He was able to influence culture in a really big way, especially through the band I know a lot of you guys love, the Beatles.
Yeah.
Get introduced and majorly influenced by drugs, which leads to George Harrison getting very much into Eastern religion which the Christians and Eric Holmberg are not a big fan of.
They hate it.
And spreading these ideas to the West, which Harrison was able to accomplish. Let's hear.
In a 1982 interview with the ex-Beatle, Vedic scholar Mukunda Goswami observed, "I don't think it's possible to calculate just how many people were turned on to Krishna consciousness by your song, My Sweet Lord." And Harrison replied, "My idea in My Sweet Lord, because it sounded like a pop song, was to sneak up on them a bit. The point was to have people not offended by Hallelujah. And by the time it gets to Hare Krishna, they're already hooked, and their foot's tapping, and they're already singing along, to lull them into a sense of false security. And, as in our opening piece, multitudes of fans were and are, quote, snuck up on, not just by this song, but through an avalanche of artists and anthems extolling the virtues of everything from reefer to reincarnation, New Age spirituality to hardcore Satanism. And while few are led into full-blown devotion, many of the distinctives of occult thought have gained more than a foothold in the thinking of most Westerners."
He pulled a sneaky on him. The quiet Beatle resonated the loudest.
The best Beatle. Yeah. I love those songs. And honestly, hearing...
You got tricked, though. That's what he's telling you.
I wouldn't,
George Harrison was
totally
trying to trick you.
I remember as a kid recognizing like, oh, it went from Hallelujah to Hare Krishna. But I liked it because it felt inclusive. Like, that's what gave me one of the first thoughts of like all of these ideas of like divinity or the something else, the ethereal that's beyond our earthly plane. It's all the same thing. We just have different interpretations of it around the world.
Drea,
to me.
That's fucking evil, okay?
That's some satanic shit. Get the fuck out.
I was going to say it's very well put, and you're turning me around, but all right.
It is evil, and I apologize. Or do they?
I love that song so much, and Drea's right. It is just like it's such a peaceful song, and it's so unifying, and like it's inclusive and stuff.
He's all in on finding the source. Where this devil didn't just show up when Ozzy was here. He's got to figure it out. It goes back to Leary and to George Harrison, and that's his mission, and he's all into it. But just know, I know that's hell's bells, but when you listen to the Unbelievers podcast, you get
everything from reefer to reincarnation.
I don't know why I like that when he lists things.
It's literally My Sweet Lord. Like, you can't be
At first, that's supposed to be the big trick.
But then, I mean, the word Lord, translate that into other languages, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's so innocent, too. Everything George Harrison ever did with
He's
the Eastern
best.
religion.
I know. He looks at the floor and he noticed it needs sweeping.
Love
He's
George
just a good
Harrison.
guy. He's the best.
We love
It's
him.
mapped out, though. He's been found out. Eric Holmberg, he mapped it all out. Now the youth, they're tuning in and dropping out. They're discovering Eastern religion. What's the next step? Well, this leads to Aleister Crowley, the great beast 666, the wickedest man in the world, becoming a figure in pop culture and popular music. And this is something we've discovered before. You know, he was really popular with the Beatles, but remember Led Zeppelin and Jimmy Page? Remember how he cursed Eddie and the Hot Rods because he was a big Crowley?
Yeah, actually, I forgot about that. But yeah.
Yeah, and they were all buddy with Aleister, Mr. Crowboy.
Early on. Well, yeah, and then, but his music leads to Black Sabbath and the birth of the whole satanic heavy levels of metal in the 80s. And that's kind of where he came in initially. So he's figured out the track, how we got there. But it didn't end there. I have one final clip for tonight, featuring an artist we have spoken about already tonight. And this is one of the most evil of all musicians. And I'm not talking about Madonna or King Diamond or the Rods. I'm talking about the most evil of 90s pop, TORI Amos.
Father Lucifer, you never look so sane. You always did prefer the drizzle to the rain. Tell me that you're still in love with that milkmaid. How the Lizzies, how's your Jesus Christ been hanging?
Sounding for all the world like Crowley and LaVey, TORI Amos told Spin magazine about her love for Lucifer, a Latin name for Satan. I wanted to marry Lucifer. Lucifer was the brother holding the space for mankind to act out their fears and hidden secrets, things they won't acknowledge. That's what the shadow is, and once you don't deny your shadow anymore, then it's not a perversion of that energy source. I don't consider Lucifer an evil force. We can all tap into that free-running current of distorted energy. She went on to talk about him on a more personal note. I feel such a sadness from him, she said. I cry and feel his presence with his music. I feel like he comes and sits on my piano. Yet this is a pretty serious being. I'm a little squirt when you think what a very serious force this is.
The devil is sitting on Tori Amos's piano, Drea.
You'd think he'd do a little bit better than, I don't know.
Did she actually say these things? Because it does sound like she is maybe losing it a little bit.
It sounds like something she would say.
She's fucking kooky, huh?
She loves the devil. She loves the Lucifer, the darkness. But you know, one thing about Tori Amos is,
I'm a little squirt.
That's what she says. She sees the devil.
I'm a little squirt compared to the devil. But here's the thing. Like, I do think that with the name Lucifer and everything, it means light bringer and everything, like the morning star or whatever. I don't think
because
that
she's using,
that it is evil. It's like been made to create, like there's an image created around him that like, oh no, this is the bad guy. And I don't really think you should give your life to any entity like that at all. But it's just like, you don't really need to be all that loud about it. The whole idea, like that guy was saying before, of being a cheerleader for LSD, being a cheerleader for anything. It's like, just do you, and then.
Yeah, but this is Eric. He's mad. She's cheerleading Satan. She's saying, I love Lucifer.
I know. I think it's a bit much.
You know me.
I'm a little squirt.
I do think it makes, of course it's going to sound crazy, The
one thing that I'm going to take away from this episode the most, I think, is that Tori Amos is really weird. She likes some weird shit. It's
all led to
channels
this.
Fairies. She loves Lucifer. And I didn't really know anything
I'm a
about
little squirt.
She's a little squirt. I didn't really know anything about her before this. I couldn't name a single Tori Amos song. But
yeah, I stay in the light.
One song.
You're listening to Van Morrison and the Ventures. You're staying out of trouble. I like that about you. That's where we're going to end this for now, or Tori Amos's piano. But there will be more. This is just part 1 of Hell's Bells 2. So brace yourself and be sure and answer this week's poll. Who's the most satanic musician in this? Is it Tori Amos? Is it George Harrison? Is it Marilyn Monroe? Or Marlyn Manson, rather. That guy. Or is it the Undertones, the fake band? Just go to unbelieverspodcast.com to vote, and let's drag ourselves out of this hell with the song Rob wants to hear from Kevin Aviant's Rhythm Is My Bitch.
On my command, relinquish control. Give me your body. Surrender your soul. I am the dominator. You are the servant. And the rhythm is my bitch.
Oh, you asked for it, you got it. That was Kevin Aviant's Rhythm Is My Bitch.
Yeah.
Introduced by Eric Holmberg through Hell's Bells 2.
Kind of slaps.
I'm into it.
It does sound like a parody of another song, but I know that's the original.
Honestly, that whole genre is a parody of music.
How did Eric even find that? I'm thinking about. I guess it's just he does his research. He goes deep on anyone who is crossing Jesus' path.
Yeah, and he has to report them. He has to write them up. So he's doing God's work.
Yeah, I think
Literally.
he just sits around and just gets mad at the radio all day. He just is basically.
I'm telling you, he was
secretly is
doing fine
enjoying
until Marilyn Manson showed up, and then Fred Durst and all that. I think he was enjoying his retirement. Like, I've done it, I've saved it. Metal is gone,
Like,
evil is gone
who
from
is
music.
this?
Yeah, he was like, "Who is this angry little man, and who is this very pale guy with nipple tassels on?"
Yep, time to dust off my cape and get back to work.
Get into it. Then he just completely has blown the lid off the case. Can't wait to get into the next 4 hours. But
oh yes,
for now, let's get to something different. Let's get to the Unbelievers voice mail bag.
The Unbelievers mailbag.
Ooh, right in the mailbag.
Hey man, check your mailbox.
Hey, you got some new mail over here.
Mailbag. The mailbag is cool. Mailbag.
Sup, bitches? It's mail time.
Yes, the Unbelievers voicemail bag. And Rob, we got a few voicemails to hear from the Unbelievers.
We do. There's a nice little assortment of different messages here tonight. So I guess we'll just get into the first one. Let's do it.
Hey there, Unbelievers. It's the Whoop and Hooper here. I'm just about to go milk my cows as I'm a dairyman here in southern Idaho. And I thought maybe I'd clear up a little bit of the mystery surrounding one of my favorite soundboard clips. Sometimes out here we do have to go out and check our cows if we have cows who are about to cow. But I don't know. I don't think that's what she was trying to say, unless she really likes the word cow, which is fine. That's kind of a fun word to say, so that's a little bit of fun. But I think what she was trying to say maybe is that she was going to check on her cows who are about to calf, which is what we call it when a cow gives birth. But we don't know. So.
We don't know.
Anyway. The more you know, and away I go!
Thank you, Whoop and Hooper, for chiming in on that. And yeah, I think that is what she was trying to say. But maybe she just likes to say, instead of cows, she says all cows are cows.
She was a little bit of fun.
She was flustered, okay? Because like there was a lot going on. I think she just accidentally said she meant to say that, probably.
We got to give him his clips, though. Come on.
Oh, yeah, that's true, right? What am I doing?
We went out to check the cows. We had some cows that were about to calf.
There they are, chiming in at the end there. Thank you, Whoop and Hooper. We want to hear more fun cow facts. Maybe you'll figure out some other animal mysteries for us. What else do we have?
Let's get into the next one here.
Hey guys, it's Destin Starr, aka Late Unbeliever, aka Sexy Daddy Dogman. Hey, how's it going? So the whole werewolf thing, it basically, like Drea speculated, it pretty much is just for fun. It's nothing really special, and there's something else I was going to talk about, but I'll get back to that later. But deuces.
Okay. Thank you, Destin Starr, who's chiming in with his nickname. I've been trying to get his official title. I heard "Sexy Daddy Dogman" in there. I didn't catch the first part.
I was trying to figure out what that was, and that does sound like the best name to go with.
I love it. I think that's fantastic. Good work picking that name.
If we get to vote, I'll vote for that one.
And listen, we understand, your werewolf questions. We have werewolf questions as well. And, we appreciate your werewolf questions. And, we're always down to talk werewolves with you, dude. So if you got any more werewolf questions, you can always shout them out to us. We got you. We'll at least discuss it. We may not have answers, but we can at least discuss it. So
love the werewolf questions.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
From a sexy daddy dog man. That's what we're talking about. All right. What else do we have?
All right, here we go.
Hey guys, it's Destin Starr. Hey, so somebody ticks me off about Bigfoot shows that talk about the skunk ape whenever they're saying the whole three-toed thing. It's the whole fact that they claim that the Bigfoot is inbred. And it's like, why? What makes you say that? That sounds like a big northern motherfucker thing. Like, oh, you're like. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted.
I get what you're saying. Oh, Bigfoot's from the South, or he's inbred redneck.
But it's
animal.
like,
got you.
You got with the whole three toes. It's like, how does that make it inbred? That makes no sense at all. It's like, the way I see it, it was like snowshoes. That's the only way to traverse through swamplands. I mean, it makes sense to me, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I just don't understand what makes people think that, oh, the Bigfoot is, and the skunk ape is inbred. It's just bizarre.
I guess it would be the whole idea of a limited population. And when you think about it, rabbits and cats and dogs are inbred as well. So it's really not so much an insult as it is just biological facts.
And it's the three-toed element because, of course, deformation and mutated things come from inbreeding.
Yeah, because Bigfoot's not human, so it's not going to display in the same way, anything inbred.
Bigfoot. Is this a new type of a Bigfoot? Because I'm not
I've never
familiar
really
so
heard-
much
I'm
with the
not familiar
three-toed
either.
Bigfoot. It sounds more like a chicken man, possibly.
Like frog man.
Or like
a
sloth.
frog man or something. But I don't know. I do understand what he's saying, though, that like there's, mutations. That doesn't mean that they're inbred, but maybe it does.
But it
I don't know.
could.
I'm a northern fucker, though. So who am I?
Yeah, you're looking down at all the Southerners. Is that what you're saying? We're all inbred.
Oh yeah.
Like, if I was
has nothing
inbred,
to do about North or South,
like
but
inbred rednecks, I'd be saying.
that's yeah. Thank you. I was gonna ask, like, does Bigfoot run around asking for funnel cake? Because that
That's
would
the
be
question.
that would be the differentiating factor for me.
I do like that he pointed this out, though, and that he's shining some light on
Inbred
this.
cryptids
This
is going to
common
be a new Lyle
misconception.
Blackburn thing.
Yeah, this is a
We're
stereotype.
talking about the most inbred and out of sorts creatures you've ever
Bigfoot
seen.
should not be
Next from Lyle Blackburn.
Bigfoot should not be stereotyped, especially when it comes to calling it inbred, because we don't even know. Who knows what these things do? We don't know. And we're not supposed to know. But yeah, we'll get to the next one here, guys. We got more.
We're not supposed to.
We got more here.
Hey, Unbelievers, it was Hose B. Got the misses.
Hey.
And the
misses.
Puckwudgies. Just wanted to say, got another Puckwudgie on the way to 10 Forks.
Congratulations.
We'll have fun with Spooktober, baby. Anyway, just want to wish everybody well. Everybody have a wonderful Memorial weekend. Bye.
Memorial weekend. Yes, we did. We had a great Memorial weekend. Thank you. And congratulations, man. Congratulations, Hose B, on another Puckwudgie on the way.
Yes. Keep growing that army of unbelievers.
We need them.
And yeah, just keep popping those babies out, man. Those
And be ready to
Puckwudgies.
hand them over to us because we're going to conscript them into the Unbelievers Army.
Yes.
And you should be proud.
Yes,
You will name it
congratulations.
Mike. This kid's name is Mike already. Mike Puckwudgie.
Even if it's a girl, it doesn't matter. It's Mike.
Could be Michelle. Well,
Yes,
we can
maybe,
go either way.
maybe name the baby Art. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out
Rod
there.
or
Or
Russ
George.
or something.
Maybe
Who
George.
knows?
Or Belle.
Yeah.
If it's a girl.
Okay, we'll keep it moving here. We got more of these, so let's just we'll keep the train moving.
If he names his kid Belle, that would be kind of cool.
Be kind of cool.
Hey, this is Philip Pants calling from west of the Rockies there. And I'm just calling on the behalf of my dad. He can't stay up this late to, call this podcast and ask questions. So are you guys going to do something about Art's parts? He says he's been following that story for like 20 years. I don't know anything about it. I have my own question though. If I could send in a tape or something, like you guys could play more spacey music, brother. Spacey music. Peace out.
I will say this. Thank you. I'm glad your dad is worried about it. And I will say there will be more on Art's parts. But I was really hoping I'd get to say
there will be more on Ron's.
Okay.
There will be more on Arts.
Okay. And
I love that. That was classic. That was great. And that also reminds me, Art Bell's birthday just passed recently, and we did an Unbelievers live stream. It was a lot of fun. I want to thank everyone who came and hung out for that and played games and watched us to listen to great old Art Bell stuff. Yeah, Drea? We went through a lot of fun stuff. Yeah, it was really good time. I'm glad everyone got to hang out with that. And there will be more live streams, and of course,
there will be more on Ron's.
Okay.
And yes, send your spacey music. Send your, I guess, tapes, he said.
That's
I don't
what
know
that guy
what.
said.
The cassette
That guy
tapes
said that's
is what
Art
he has
Bell,
or something?
though. That's what the guy, he did it. That was perfect. That was better. We watched a guy try to do an impersonation of Art Bell. He dressed up like him and everything. It was awful. It was really stupid, but that was a great.
I wish someone would
he was
send
a
us
caller.
spacey music, though. I could use some good spacey music for the show.
I could use some spacey music. I think we all would benefit from that.
Yeah. Let's keep going here. These are great.
Oh,
These
wow.
guys,
More
the
good.
Unbelievers are
There
killing
will be
it.
more on
Fantastic.
Unbelievers.
Yeah.
Hey, Unbelievers. I went out to check some cows, and there were some cows that were getting ready to cow.
Are those real cows?
Oh. Was that the whole call?
Oh, I got some real. Cow's attacking that kid.
I believe there was a real cow in the background of that clip. I think that
might
was
have been it.
I'm pretty sure
What's
that
going
was
on with the cow clips? I don't know if that was from the from our caller earlier, but thank you so much. Keep the voicemails coming, please. These are great. I love them so much. If you want to impersonate our bell callers, that's fine.
and we're not even done yet. Here, let's just keep going here. Let's keep flowing.
On our bell impression contest.
Hey, Unbelievers. Green Finhawk here. Just wanted to share this pretty awesome moment, this proud dad moment that I had with my 4-year-old at the carnival this past weekend. We were there. It's probably around just a little bit before sunset. And my 4-year-old looks up into the sky and points and goes, "Look, UFO! Aliens! Woohoo! E.T.!" Well, I would have loved to look up and seen a UFO. What you saw was an airplane at about 30,000 feet, and the sun was, reflecting off the airplane just right. It looked kind of like a rod. You don't really see the wings. You just see, the fuselage of the plane.
Okay.
Anyway, I was just really tickled and
Rods are huge,
love that
Rob.
my daughter saw it first, aliens and E.T. That was pretty awesome. Just wanted to share that with y'all. All right, stay safe out there. Please.
All right, and happy Father's Day, which is also passed, including Memorial Day, which we heard about. Yeah, we haven't hit the voicemail in a little while, obviously.
Yes,
in a minute.
Yes, we're catching up. It's overflowing, but we're almost there. We got one more. But thank you to Green Finhawk for that. That was very nice.
Yeah, I wish my kid wasn't yelling about ET and UFOs. I guess I wasn't doing it right. So good job with that.
All right, here's the last one, guys.
Hey, Unbelievers. This is Hose B. Just want to report on the weekend. Took the missus and the Puckwudgies to Mesa Verde National Park, and I highly recommend it. It was hot, but really cool place. Did about a half a day there. Speaking of Puckwudgies, I want to tell everybody that I got another Unbeliever on the way, due 10-4, so we will have a Spooktober baby. Anyway, hope everyone's having a great summer. Deuces.
All right. Thanks for
Deuces.
checking in again. And yes, Mesa Verde. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I believe so.
I want to go.
I've never been there, but it sounds beautiful.
It's hot.
Sounds
I've heard
green.
it's hot.
It's hot. Yeah, Mesa
Spooktober,
Verde.
baby, though. You got to love that. That's always a fun time. That's the best time to have your birthday. I know I've said this because my youngest son's birthday is my youngest son's birthday is Halloween. And it was so fun. It's the best time. The weather's awesome. Everyone's out having fun. You can dress up in costumes, do all kinds of stuff. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
So you're gonna love doing that. You get to celebrate that. Your Spooktober's birthday.
Enjoy. I'm not bitter.
Don't be.
Yeah.
And that's it, I think, for the Unbelievers voicemail bag.
That's it.
The Unbelievers mailbag.
Ooh, right in the mailbag.
Hey, man, check your mailbox.
Hey, you got some new mail over here.
Mailbag. The mailbag is cool. Mailbag.
Sup, bitches? It's mail time. Woo!
That was fun. I almost feel like putting a challenge out there, like do an Art Bell impression voicemails or something. Give me some fun voicemails. Maybe make your own thing. I don't know. Alex Jones contest. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe any impression. Just say who you're doing first, or maybe don't.
No, we guess.
Or maybe don't.
If you're doing
that'd be fun too. We can guess who the impression is.
It can
Do
be
an
from
impression
anybody.
of anybody in the Unbelievable universe, Unbelievers or Unbelievable universe, and we'll have to guess who you're doing.
Yeah, we'll
impression.
guess.
That would
We'll figure
be
it out.
amazing.
That would
Actually,
be
it
very
sounds like a
fun.
lot of
That'd
fun.
be fun. No cheating, guys. But Drea, Rob, we've got one thing left to do. What's that?
Poll results.
This week's poll: does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? It's a rare SOS vote.
This is a big one.
Forgot
Ryan
that
Buell
that's
in.
what it was.
It's been a while. Yeah, I know. This has been out there for a little while. Yeah. But let's see. So the choices, of course, were yes, no, and other. I guess I'll ask you, Drea Mora, what do you think the Unbelievers said through the official poll?
I think it might actually edge towards yes.
All right. How about you, Rob?
Just because I saw the way that some people reacted to the episode, I'm going to definitely use that. And I think, I got to agree with Drea. I think that they're probably going to vote him in. I think he's going in.
I guess congratulations both of you because tied at 9.09% of the vote. It's tied.
How is that? Congratulations to both of us.
It's tied. Yes and no.
It is tied. Yes and no is tied. Now, there are a bunch of others, but I also put the poll out on Twitter. I want to get the opinion there. I will tell you with the Unbelievers on Twitter, it was yes, 60%, and to no, 40%. So very close, very close.
I think that adds up, though. I think that's pretty telling.
We have to add up more because, of course, there are
God damn it.
others. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? I'm gonna go with the Twitter. There's a couple of Twitter others. I'm gonna go with those first.
Okay.
Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? No. Let him start in the Bag of Barf Hall of Fame and work his way up like I had to. Signed, Corrupted Mask.
Nice.
Okay.
Thank you, Corrupted Mask. Here we go. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? I know it could go either way, but being I have been sober on and off opiates for 8 years, I have to have my vote say no. 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day. Trust me, he's beating himself up for all the shit he has done, as do I.
Okay.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
valid.
Wow.
That's valid.
Very valid.
I feel like this is going to get real.
Noted.
Bob
yeah.
Farmington, noted, definitely noted. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Drugs are a hell of a drug. Thank you. Boiling Pit of Sewage, which I believe is at Bono Yogurt. And of course, there are others from the actual poll. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Yes. When you give PP money, you get a cheap piece of plastic. All you get for giving it to Buell is a crappy apology from his mom, signed Hose B.
Wow.
Good point, Hose B.
I mean, it's kind of
so
true.
real. That's so real.
I knew it was going to get heavy, man.
Right? Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? I don't think so. I try to be empathetic. Dell laptops are 20% off this week. Stop by. Signed, Best Buy Employee Man. Thank you,
Good
Best
job,
Buy.
Best Buy
Employee
Employee
Man.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, good guy, good savings, great establishment.
Yeah,
Does
thank
it
you.
Ryan Buell belong in the
Great
SOS Hall of Fame? He totally does, and I can't remember if I submitted something already. So, hola, mija. Signed, Bus Buddha. Thank you, Bus Buddha.
Yeah, and I guess we'll hit him with a quick.
Hola, mija.
Hola, mija.
Hola. So he is voting. He's voting yes. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? He might not be an SOS, but he's definitely peeking out from behind one. Signed, Golden Rice. He's peeking out behind him. Maybe?
Okay.
Is that something about chip coffee? What is he talking about?
Here is Sasquatch peeking out from behind a bush.
All right. Thank you so much.
Jellyfish.
I will interview you about you.
Interview me about Golden Rice.
Thank you, Golden Rice. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Once at a Penn State frat party, Ryan gave me Buell balls.
What?
Buell balls. I don't know if that's a vote, yes or no.
Really?
Signed, I'm Jeff.
Jeff.
I'm Jeff.
Jeff, you fucker.
My name is Jeff.
That's that Jeff. I don't think it's the other one. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Dante's Inferno described a circle of hell for people who fake cancer. You are perpetually in my pants. Signed, Pants Filler. Oh no.
Be throwing up and filling my pants.
Oh man, is that where he has to go? That kind of fits in with tonight's theme almost. Ryan Buell, yeah. I think Eric Holmberg would hate Ryan Buell. He would vote yes. I'm marking down a yes for Eric Holmberg. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? No. Let him start out in the Bag of Barf. Oh, Corrupted Mask. You got us again.
Okay.
You did it. Hey. Corrupted Mask covered his bases. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Still
it was a long break. We had a long break between episodes here. So.
We have to start a Bag of Barf Hall of Fame for the lower levels. According to Corrupted Mask, that's what he is in. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Yes, the guy is a straight up sleut. Unbeliever Roy. Just kidding. Roy is not this man's real name. Signed, Unbeliever Darcy. Oh, Darcy got
Darcy, she got you, dude. She totally got you.
Roy is not this man's real name.
Very nice, Darcy. We'll put you up as a yes. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Ryan Bueller, you're my hero. Signed, Cameron Harley Warren Fry.
That is one of my favorite Bueller quotes.
Oh God, Harley Warren.
Thank you, Harley Warren. Give him a bowl for that one. He was showing restraint this year.
Oh God. All right, fine. I'll hit him with one. Give him one.
You know he needs it.
We went to this room. There was this bowl on this table, and I was supposed to ejaculate into the bowl.
Bueller. Thank you, Cameron Harley Warren Fry. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? My old dad belongs in the SOS Hall of Fame. He was responsible for getting Ryan Buell hooked on blow. Signed,
man.
Scared of my dad guy. Ouch. All right. That's one vote for Scared of My Dad Guy's dad.
No, I'm not surprised. His dad sounds like a piece of crap.
What?
We need to keep track of it. Yes, we do. Does Ryan Buell belong to the SOS Hall of Fame? Nah, he's an addict. But, oh shit, look at me. I'm wiggling my fingers. Signed, left-handed buckle grabber.
It's a little dark, but that's appreciated.
To the guy who is...
I remember gripping my belt buckle with my left hand, I think it was.
That's a no from left-handed buckle grabber. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? I think if noted Tootsman Zach Baggins isn't in the Hall of Fame, Ryan shouldn't be. Signed, the Wombat Preservationist.
Well, I mean, there are some
pretty
big
good point there.
differences. No, I mean, Zach Bagans doesn't like leave people with tickets that they paid for and doesn't show up to an event.
That's true. And Zach Bagans
doesn't give
never,
refunds.
Zach has never claimed to have cancer either when he doesn't have cancer.
And faking having
And he
cancer.
lost in the tournament of SOS where he tried to make his way in, I believe.
Pretty
he was
big
very high
difference
up there,
there.
too. Such a on-the-bubble guy.
It's hard to compare those two. I mean, if you're just talking about what they do on television, that's one thing.
Then they're equal.
But if you really start to get into it, I don't know. Zach he's just a shitty.
Hey, remember that one lady who hated him? I know there's some clips of her. Remember
yeah.
Zach Faker Baggins, remember she called him something like that?
Oh, yeah, I think it was this lady.
So, Zach, you're fake.
You're a fake.
That's
Thank
the
you.
one.
Thank you, the Wombat Preservationist. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? I was going to vote yes, but my butler almost voted no. I scared him when I yelled, Theodore, don't. Signed. Signed, there is no Richard. I'm Richard. Okay, thank you. I'm Richard. There's no Richard.
Oh, God. All right.
Theodore, don't.
It's been so long
Put it
since
again
I've
as a
heard
no.
that.
It's a no from Richard. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Everyone should get another chance to redeem themselves. Signed, Ronan. Yes, good point.
Yeah, he's had several.
Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? It's a no from me, dog. Signed, Destin Starr. There's a lot of no's in this one.
Hey, that person's voted twice already.
Two no's.
Keep a track. That's why I got Drea here.
Does Ryan belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Need some drugs, Ryan? There's a bowl there in the SOS. It's real hot gooey. Signed, Bradley Bradley. That's not a yes or no, but somehow the bowl was we were gonna get to it anyway. But let's do the
I want to check the bowls and pans for myself.
Okay, I thought you were gonna see if it was hot gooey or not.
Yeah, give me the drugs.
Thank you, Bradley Bradley. Does Ryan Buell belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Indubitably, his SOS reign is that of royalty. Signed, Pussy Bopper. Oh, Pussy Bopper chiming in. Pussy Bopper. And finally, from a voicemail from earlier, does Ryan Buell belong to the SOS Hall of Fame? Well, grab my gonads and jerk my ass out of here. This interview is over. Also, yes. Signed, Whooping Hooper. Thank you, Whooping Hooper. It's very split.
We got to hit him with he wants to jerk my ass out of here, right? Isn't that a clip?
We do have one.
If I holler, you grab them big gonads and jerk my ass out of here.
Oh my God.
You got it,
I didn't even remember that. Amazing.
Wow, that was I had kind of forgot
Good
about that
job.
too. That's from the Mountain Monster Saga from last year. Thank
Yeah.
you, Whooping Hooper, for chiming in.
Jerk my ass.
There are okay. So I'm gonna ask you guys. I'll read some of the good ones. We'll let someone win the others, of course. Some of the good ones I liked. They had Hose B. Yes, when you give PP money, you get a cheap piece of plastic. All you're getting for Buell is crappy apology from his mom. That's a yes,
that one
though.
cuts so hard.
That one
I feel
cuts
like.
pretty deep.
Yeah.
Was there any that stood out to you guys?
That one in particular did.
Particularly, I guess because it was like one of the first ones too. It hits hard. And it's like, I don't know, something about it is real as fuck.
Yeah.
I liked Unbeliever Darcy a lot too, when she went, yes, the guy is a straight up sleut, son Unbeliever Roy. Just kidding. Roy is not this man.
Yes, I do love the bait and switch there. That was fun. That was definitely fun.
Yeah. That's one of my votes just for poll results in general. But when it comes to the actual matter at hand, does he deserve to be in it? And I know I've been one who's definitely been saying he's a piece of shit. Is he an entire sack of shit is the question. Where he does seem apologetic. And yes, he does deserve, I guess, 4th and 5th chances because he's had second chances. He has. But I don't feel like he's as slimy as the people who are in the SOS Hall of Fame. Like, he is kind of shitty, but I'm not sure that he is that level of shitty to be that shamed like Stan Romanek and Sylvia Brown and, obviously the others. It's just, he's right on the edge. He's right on the fucking edge.
Yeah, it's still
agree.
so tough.
I agree. And I'm going to give my vote, which I also think my vote for winner of poll results and winner of the poll in general. And I'm giving my vote to Bob Farrington with, I know it could go either way, but being I've been sober and on and off opiates for 8 years, I have to have my vote say no. 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day. Trust me, he's beating himself up for all the shit he has done.
I'm sure he is.
That's my vote.
Yeah,
and that is also the way I'm going.
That's the one redeeming factor for sure.
I will say he's not out there. He can never do anything again to mess with anybody in the paranormal world. I don't believe. No one would ever trust him. He wouldn't do it again.
We'd hope.
But people that are out there spent their entire lifetime and are still out there doing things that are pretty despicable. So I don't put him on the same level. What about you, Rob?
Wow. I do not want to be the one who decides the fate of Ryan Buell as far as the sack of shit Hall of Fame goes. And it is a really tough situation because, the drugs are, it's a terrible thing to get involved with, and it can really change the entire way that someone acts. It can alter their whole personality and who they are. And maybe, he's not a sack of shit, but he just did sack of shit type behavior, and he just acted like a sack of shit because of
shit activities,
the position that he put himself in. Basically. And I think it's a really tough situation. However, I do think that there is a section of the sack of shit Hall of Fame for him, but I don't know if if we could definitively say right now that he deserves to be in the sack of shit Hall of Fame. There was such a mixed reaction just between the votes, first off being split right down the middle. All of the different poll results that everybody said, it was so all over the place. It was back and forth the entire time. So I don't feel confident in saying that he should be inducted at this moment.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
that's
I agree.
it. I don't feel confident saying that.
No, he's definitely maybe like Corrupted Mass
He's on
said.
watch.
He should start off in the Bag of Barf Hall of Fame
He's
and work his way up
right now.
I think we've cleared him. Let's just take about we're going to pick a winner of the poll, but let's just say at this point, Ryan Buell has been cleared of being in the SOS Hall.
Yeah,
he
can be in the Bag of Barf for now.
Unless someone else makes a real strong argument for why he does deserve to be in the
if he's done something extra bad that we don't know about.
Maybe if we miss something, or if there's a different angle or perspective that maybe we haven't spoken about, and you can really make a good point as to why this man deserves to be in the Sack of Shit Hall of Fame with other legends like Joshua P. Warren. I believe who are some of the other like big ones?
Richard Hoagland.
Just so we can talk about see who we're comparing him to.
Stan Romanek.
And Stan Romanek is a pedophile, so it's like that he's in a class of his own.
Yeah.
Sylvia Brown,
He's
like
not
I
in
said,
that
because
class.
she actively reaped profits off of people's tragedies, and that's not exactly what Ryan Buell is doing.
No, he's no Rick Dyer.
Yeah, he left people, high and dry and didn't give them refunds and everything and faked having cancer, which is a pretty shitty thing to do.
That's pretty damn
like people have said, it was not like he was doing this automatically on his own. Like, this isn't his natural personality is to do that. He had a problem and, sought to deal with it the best way he thought possible. I'm not saying it's a good thing and it's necessarily forgivable, but it's not quite sack of shit level.
Agreed. You have a lot of actual real demons too, because he goes to the demon show and he has demons chasing him around. So
that is true. I didn't even actually consider that.
He did actually stir up a lot of demons over the few years.
Actual demons that he went around and just pissed off that whole time while he was on that show.
All right, so who's going to win the poll result though? Who do you like, Drea?
I liked what was it? Unbeliever Darcy. Roy is not this man's real name. That whole long one. Best Buy Employee Man was pretty good too. I can't remember what it was now, but I wrote him down.
Yeah, I'm going to throw the vote in as well for Darcy because that just slapped. Came back around and slaps in the end. I like it.
All right, you might have been wrong about your pick or your vote, but congratulations, Roy. Unbeliever Roy. Just kidding. Roy is not this man's real name. Signed, Unbeliever Darcy. Yeah, the guy is a straight up sleut. You just won this week's poll results.
He's asleep.
Well, we've come to the end of the program, but before we go, Drea, Mora, do you have anything you'd like to say or plug?
Spirits and Spirits is still kicking, it turns out, and we're gonna have new stuff up in the store soon. We've got some new stickers in for patrons, and it's getting a little fun. It's getting exciting.
Super exciting. Yes, as we're recording this today, you had a brand new episode come out. Which I'm very excited to listen to. What about you, Rob? Anything to say or plug?
I'll just say, check out the Unbelievers Podcast Patreon. We just put out our 40th bonus episode.
40th. Woo.
There's 40 bonus episodes to listen to. If you're listening to this right now and you haven't gotten the Patreon, you can sign up for it today for $5 and listen to 40 episodes that are completely exclusive that you'll only find on Patreon. So that's something definitely to plug, I'd say. And I think we have like 59 patrons right now.
Wow.
So crazy. Yeah,
you could be
a
the
little
60th.
humble show. Yeah. Hit number 60.
Wow, I didn't know that. Cool. That's a lot.
Yeah, let's try to get to 100 Patreon subscribers. I feel like
that's get a weird tattoo or something. Right?
Let's try to do that. So if you're listening right now and you haven't gone over there, go check it out. There might be some cool stuff you like on it.
Sweet, of course. And yeah, I'll say go check out Zona del Silencio. Dre and I just got back from there, and we talked about Rael and the Raelian movement, some UFO religion talk, fun stuff.
Very
That's
nice.
it. The Unbelievers Podcast host today were Drea, Mora, and me, Rus Ryan. Our producer and soundboard engineer is Rob Okey. You can join that Patreon. Just like Rob said, you can follow the show on Twitter at Unbelievers Pod and Instagram at Unbelievers Podcast. And our Facebook group is the Unbelievable Podcast Network. And check out our merch store at TeePublic. There is a link in the description. And thank you so much to all the patrons. Louise Martinez, Caleb Despins, Rod Begliomi, our official Rod, Marcus Golay, Jack D. Whiskers, Brandon Cardona, The Ominous Clouds, Chris Porteous, Robert Farrington, Dominic Shealy, Lid Vicious, Fabian, Art Muffin, Nick Marshall, Ramiro, Sam Foval, Creepy Little Book, Johnny Nuts, Sandra and Deborah Foles, Chris Stroker, Louis Pion, 8-Bit Melody, Jenny Dyer, Christopher Valderrama, David Egelhoff, JT Franklin, Vic Voss, Little BB, Dr. Ortega, Tyler Ventura, Adam Dvorak, Corrupted Mass, Michael Phillips, Carol Vadney, Manny, MQ Ultra, CJP, Braden Hitt, Raymond Roel, Todd X, Christopher Panici, The Moon, The Judgy Moon, Mike Henry, Mike Hartstock, Bryce Cronenberg Jr., Dawn Bright, Shannon Ferrigno, Tom O'Connell, Donna Banch, Jenna Stevens, Cat Chaos, Jason Kelly, Mike, Brian Ashton, Michael Army Menta, coming in with that new baby name, Wombat Preservationist. Our music advisor is Pandora3373. Our official composer and theme song creator is Unbeliever A.A. Ron. His podcasts are going, man. Go check out Nashville Tour Stop. I know he has another podcast you can find through that too. Go check it out. Our official graphic designer and card maker who designed our logo is Raymond Rowell. Check out his work at P Raven Creative on Twitter and Project Raven Creative on Instagram. Our official procrastinator is Jeffrey Hartreniff. He taught me how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Our official Baby Yoda publicist is Pam Z. Our official Unbelievers listening between the stations for a message from Art Bell, especially on his birthday, is Scott E. Our official Hazmat Lou is Hazmat Lou. Our official Unbeliever without a title is Nicholas Arastavi. Our official Unbeliever that needs a title is Destin Starr. But no, I guess he's Sexy Daddy Dog Man. But we also... Andrew Riesdyke, both new $25 patrons. Amazing. Woo! Thank you guys so much. It's amazing. So we just need your title. We have Sexy Daddy Dogman. Our official Unbeliever Raising Puck Wedgies is Joe Filler. Our official Resident Sagittarius is Kozanton. Our official Madman is Unbeliever Adam. Our official Mothman Enthusiast is Michael Shields. Our official Unbeliever Peacefully Eating a Hamburger is Michelle Durham. Our official Mothman Enthusiast is Michael Shields. Our official Unbelievers Time Traveler is Taylor Nelson. Our official Ghost Hunter is Amelia Childs and Ghost Hunting in New England. And Hubie Halloween on Netflix. Our official senior European correspondent is K Mill of the I Don't Know podcast. Our official Guardian of the Bench is that Kraken Stack. Our official Alien Bopper is Nunchuck Bob. And this week's Unbeliever Focus is Andrew Riesdyke, who is going to be happy to hear that we are jumping back into religion and the satanic panic aspect. He loves turmoil in the toy box. And when I asked Andrew, are you a part of any kind of organized religion? He said,
Robert Smith is God. Smashing Pumpkins.
Good night.
Just listening to the music, man.
the rhythm. Discontinue. Discontinue.